I actually don't think it's that bad. Even though it's showing red, the price is still holding above $2, which is better than I expected following the so-called bad news from Torres. Actually, I had a bit of a chat back and forth in the comment section of my last video, and I put it to you that actually Torres is working for us at the moment. What she's trying to do, or well, she's not necessarily trying to do it, but the sort of indirect result of her stance is that institutions are going to be forced to buy XRP on the exchanges. Now, in the short to long term, that should actually be bullish. So if people really took a little bit of time to think about the implications of what's happening, they would actually be more bullish than they are right now. I think a lot of people are looking at the longer term, which is if Ripple were to get their own way, then they could march forward with institutional adoption as planned. But that institutional adoption obviously would also pump the price in the long run. But in the short to mid-term run for XRP, actually George Torres's decision helps us, the retail. It's not in the favor of the establishment large organization, so to say. Anyway, there are some really good news. Again, I'm sure you've seen this because I'm reporting this quite late, and is that Ripple is expanding their interoperability play, and they are incorporating Wormhole, which is a well-known interoperability platform. Now, I made a comment in one of my videos, you probably missed it. It was just before I made a video about Flare where I mentioned interoperability being the superstar play for this bull run, right? So any blockchain that offers interconnectivity, interoperability between as many blockchains as possible, and as well as external networks external to blockchain, they're going to make a really big splash this bull run. So Chainlink, of course, is doing that. Flare is doing that. There's another platform I'm going to talk about later that actually Ripple's been working with for more than a year. They were instrumental in developing actually the sidechain. But this Wormhole is a game changer in a way. So not only are they incorporating this into the Ethereum, into the XRP ledger itself, they are incorporating it into the Sidechain as well. And Wormhole itself is a kind of interesting system. I have a quick overrun of that as well after just quickly looking at this article that was posted on Ripple's own website. As usual, all of these sources are going to be in the description section if you want to go have a look. So as tokenized assets and stable coins gain momentum, financial infrastructure must evolve to support seamless movement across blockchain networks. Institutions increasingly demand digital assets that can move securely and efficiently without added complexity, risk, or liquidity fragmentation. Wormhole enables over 200 applications spanning 35 plus blockchain ecosystems, which covers a lot of the ones that we already know and love. It's a flexible and open approach to infrastructure, and it expands XRPL and XRP Ledger EVM sidechain with cross-chain functionality. Now, I'm not going to read this whole article. I'm just going to have a look at Wormhole. Now, Wormhole is, man, actually since morning, and I've gone and had a look at this W token that I'm going to talk about. I think that they have a bright future, not financial advice, your own research. So their whole thing is connecting the internet economy. As you can see, scrolling along the screen now are names that you know: Solana, Circle, Uniswap, Base, Bith, Blackpack, Apollo, BlackRock. All of these big names that are scrolling across the screen already work with Wormhole. And actually, the XRP ledger is a kind of a Johnny come lately when it comes to the available ecosystems on this platform. If you look at their products, they've got SDKs, native token transfers, which is the big thing. Now, the way that the native tokens transfers work on here is any blockchain using Wormhole incorporated into their blockchain can then issue their token or any token on their platform on any other blockchain that is connected to Wormhole. So going forward, projects that build on XRP Ledger can instantly publish their tokens across different platforms, be it Solana, Ethereum, anything else that uses this, right? We're going to see a list in a minute. And that's going to change things because a lot of these companies, a lot of these projects and developers, they pick Ethereum first because of the availability of smart contracts for one, and because it's just a large platform. They pick Solana because of the, again, smart contracts, but a lot cheaper and more scalable than Ethereum. So these two are currently the leading smart contract platforms on which dApps are built, on which DeFi is built. But now XRP is making such a charge forward when it comes to DeFi and dApps and projects, L2s being built on top of the ledger, that, man, I'm thinking they're going to take one of these guys' crowns in the very near future. So this is their ecosystem. All of these big names that you're looking at are already working with Wormhole. Look at all this stuff. I might do a separate video on Wormhole. I think it deserves its own dedicated video because there's so much content, right? Institutions, okay, BlackRock is there somewhere. Wormhole supports these blockchains: Kala, Algorand, Aptos, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Base, Blast, BNB Chain, Celestia, Celo, Dimension, Ethereum, Phantom, blah, 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 XPL, X layer. And look at this empty space here with XRP Ledger to be added to that as soon as possible. Even Terra Classic is on here, Terra 2.0. I can't believe that platform is still running, to be honest with you. Look, Sui, everyone's here. Now, obviously, XRP is missing, but not anymore. Soon, XRP is going to be included, and all of these tokens are going to be able to publish to the XRP ledger and be native tokens. Now, why would you want to do this? Why not just use EXRPL or wrapped XRP, etc.? Look at the benefits. Unified multi-chain user experience. Tokens maintain their inherent properties on each chain, resulting in a natively authentic multi-chain token without altering their intrinsic characteristics. So that's pretty interesting. Here is one that everyone's going to love. No need for liquidity pools. NTT enables token transfers without the need for liquidity pools, eliminating associated fees, spillage, or MEV risks, and all sorts of other benefits. But that one is my favorite. Okay, so this is absolutely huge. Now, this isn't the first time that Ripple has been working with interoperability platforms. Like I mentioned before, they worked with Accela. I don't actually know how to pronounce that. Accela. And this is kind of a similar project. As you can see, lots of platforms on there as well. They also are an interoperability platform. They were helpful in building and developing the EVM sidechain for Ripple and the XRP ledger. So shout out to Ripple, shout out to XRP ledger, some good news. I'm going to do a Wormhole video all by itself, just deep diving into this platform. They have a token as well that I'm going to be looking at, not financial advice, do your own research.